Well, hello, Bob Dandry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. So, last episode we did a bit of work setting up a nice food line for our network, and also got a new passenger line into service as well. And today we're going to continue building on what we've already got. So you may recall at the end of last episode we put our food train into service, but there were a few places that weren't actually served for food. Being Wichita and also LA. So LA was more of a strategic decision because, I mean, it doesn't really require all that much food at the moment. Whereas Wichita, it is one of its sort of primary requirements. And it was more just, we sort of ran out of time to be able to do that. So first off, I want to start off by getting another platform onto our Wichita Falls station, which can be a shared passenger and freight platform. And that will allow us to start getting our food into Wichita here. So first of all, let's get that started. And we're just going to add the cargo platform on right here. So this is a platform that can be used for both. Let's get it connected on. We'll also need to get a freight service in here. So if we pop onto our cargo layer, let's have a look. Our food is on this side of the town, so it does not cover any of that requirement at all. That's fine, and we can make this work either way. Alrighty, that is fixed up now, and we'll just get a truck drop-off station just in the middle of the city here, and that will cover everything that needs anything really. That'll also cover all of our brick requirements should we get a brick line into place there, but that's probably a little bit of a while off at this point. Next, let's get a few cargo carriages on there. Put it onto our new line, and next thing we need to do is modify our food line to actually go into Wichita Falls as well. That one should be a nice, easy one. All right, that should be an easy one now, and hopefully we should start to see food showing up here at Oklahoma City Central, though we probably need to ship some more goods in, actually, or some more raw-ish materials. Some more alcohol, coffee, or meat is what I'm saying by that. So we've got a few fisheries over here, and we've got one over here as well at Korea, which can go to this processing plant here, but the connection's not really that great, if I'm honest. It's a bit out of the way. We could, if we were a little bit further into the future, we could consider putting on some higher capacity trucks, but we're not there quite yet, I don't think. Other thing, our distillery may level up. It could actually. It's probably quite close to leveling up despite what it shows here, and that will allow us to ship more from there as well. Because we're not shipping a whole lot at this point. But look, I would like to extend our line from Albuquerque from Albuquerque through to Chandler. That will essentially end this, which is basically a branch line. Our line through to Oklahoma is more of our main sort of line, and it will allow us to sort of cap that one. It'll also give us a new place to deliver goods and also fuel to as well, which will be important for growing the rest of the network. So luckily we've already sort of started to build this. It was a bit of a waste of time, to be honest, because we didn't end up connecting from the distillery over here. But we can use some of that and sort of curve a line around this mountain here and get connected up there. And I think I'm going to hook in right at the end of this road here. That should give us pretty good coverage, hopefully anyway, and should cover us for some freight as well. Once again, hopefully. I reckon this isn't quite going to be long enough, so we're going to need to make this one to 240. I'm okay with that. In fact, it's not even long enough for 240. We might need to put it here in that case, which it's going to be okay, I think. It will necessitate a bit of work to sort of spread our passengers around, but yeah, it's okay. It's fine. This is fine. I don't know what I'm building here, actually. What is that? might just use the standard ones instead. Hop on a cargo platform. And we might also get a cargo building in here if we can fit one, potentially. Alright, well, we'll make a connection there then. Not the most ideal connection, but it's okay. It's fine. Cool, so we've got our main connection there. That is pretty good. And next we'll add in probably, I'm thinking, 2 crossing loops. One on this new section and one on the older section that we constructed last episode. Alright, now we can fairly easily connect our line to our new station. And back to Albuquerque. We're going to call this the Chandler branch. We haven't actually named the line yet. Beautiful. And I could foresee this line connecting up and heading towards Oklahoma City eventually. So we could potentially put a triangle in, but I think we're going to leave it just for the moment and just have it set up the way it is. What we can do, however, is get a fuel train set up to Chandler, and we can reuse our existing fuel train. As you can see, we are not sort of the right length to not be able to connect up, I don't think, anyway. We just check this. These are, yeah, 109, 110 meters long, so perfect. They will connect up to Chandler just fine. Ooh, okay, can't connect all stations. Why is that? Did we not connect up something we... Oh, of course we didn't. Okay, yeah, my bad. You need to actually connect up the tracks to use them. We've learned from this, haven't we? So you'd think the problem... Yeah, so our little error is gone now. That was just generally a silly thing I've done, obviously. And we should be good now. That should connect up absolutely fine. Next thing we can do is get a bit of a little goods train set up. I don't think we need a massive one. And we've already got the infrastructure in place to support this movement. So that's pretty good that we already sort of set things up the way we have. But I think we're just going to get a fairly short train. We're not going to have a massive demand for goods. We might just maybe just have a 106 meter long train. And hopefully that goes all right anyway. Now, I do want to actually connect up Laredo with a rail line as well. This might be a bit controversial. I'm going to set up just a short sort of branch to Laredo and basically just have maybe a shuttle train from Santa Rosa, I'm thinking. Does that make sense? I think it actually does, but you may question my motives. So I'm thinking, like, we can't have carriages running from Laredo to somewhere like Peoria. It doesn't make sense to do that because you'll be probably coaching for like 2 days if you do it that way. So we will have a nice simple connection, potentially even through Peoria, and then break off over here and head down to Laredo. And maybe later on, when we have faster, high capacity coaches, we might close this line down. It happened in, I'm thinking of Australia here, obviously, but we did in Newcastle, we used to have quite a few different branch lines that were basically closed when it was easier just to run a coach. So let's make a connection. We can set up a nice simple branch line to Laredo, and then we can obviously reconsider, see what commercial sense it makes later on. Because I want to have as much coverage of all the towns that we come near or come past as much as we can. This is going to be a short one. I don't anticipate we're going to have massive demand for this one. And it's just going to be a single track as well. And we've actually got a little space there that we can pop this in and not have to pull out any buildings. So yeah, that's really cool to see. And then hopefully we can fairly easily connect this up to our main line without too much of a problem. And that's nice. That's nice and easy. Now over at Santa Rosa, I think I want to set up a dedicated platform for this train to stop at. I think we'll have enough for a decent sized one anyway. So we can set up a 3 length platform. And I think that's probably pretty good. All right, now let's set up a new line to run on our sort of branch that we've just set up. So there's going to be the Santa Rosa to Laredo branch. Easy. And I just want to change over our platform at Santa Rosa. It can use this little stub platform. 3? Okay, perfect. And let's get a train set up to run on it as well. I think I'm just going to run 2 carriages. I would love to be able to put like a tank engine or something like that, which obviously we've got these ones, but they are not good. So yeah, we'll just use what we've got and do that. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to work and if we get much usage on this line at all. Oh, hello there. We have unlocked some new locomotives. Happy days. This is exciting. Because hopefully this is going to be able to really improve our freight lines, especially. Hopefully we've got some more power and some more tractive effort. But let's have a look. I'm really looking at this line here, this oil line. We're running out of crude oil sort of between deliveries because these trains are so slow going up this grade. Of course, we've got them on poor power rating, which obviously we've learned last episode is a bad thing, trademark. But let's see if we can improve these. So let's have a look and see what these new locomotives we've unlocked are like. So what I'm seeing is a modest increase in tractive effort, but a significant increase in power. So let's put them to work on one of our trains and just see if it can I guess improve how it's doing in terms of making this grade. I'm looking at you right here, I think. And we'll move the old one off. Make that modification. We'll have you return to depot. And we can reuse you for something else, but let's have a look and see how we're going making it up this grade. Appears to be going significantly better. It's speeding up in this sort of slowest part of the grade where we were generally getting down to, 12, 13 kilometers an hour on our other locomotives. So looks like it's going all right. And I think most importantly, this is mediocre now in terms of the power rating. Whereas the other ones are poor. So this is quite an important development now, having these new locomotives that we can put into service. And I think this is important enough, and this sort of backlog we have of waiting for oil to come in, that we can upgrade all of these trains and maybe even put an additional one in as well. All right. So we should start to see some real increases in the throughput here. I might leave it just a few moments just to let this sort of, I guess, normalize, and then we'll come back and look at potentially adding some further capacity to this line. But yeah, look, I'm really happy with how things are going. These trains are getting up to speed quite quickly. And yeah, definitely a game changer, this one. So obviously we've put a few locomotives in storage, but that's not going to be the end of those. So I've been looking at what our next options are in terms of setting up a, new lines and new industry chains. And we've got Albuquerque over here and also Oklahoma City that need tools. And we've got a fairly easy tool chain we can create here. We can ship wood over to our sawmill, create some tools. We can probably just send the tools across on a little boat, even maybe over to Oklahoma, and just chuck the rest on a train over to Albuquerque. So this is going to be a bit of a weird one. Once again, this is something that maybe down the line we would probably have this more truck-based, but we don't really have that option right now when we've got our horse-drawn carriages. So let's get a line set up here. So we'll need 3 stations. And this is definitely one where we can utilize the same train running in sort of 2 different directions to transport different goods. So that is good. But yeah. Oh, okay. Going to be a little bit of a challenge here. That's interesting. We might try if we can just shift our station over a little bit more, which will make that slope a little bit easier. Perfect. That works. And then this is going to be a bit weird, but I'm just going to do a cross if we can. And we might just have some signals on our secondary line to control the flow of traffic. For our train, which will be going over to Albuquerque, we can have that break off here. And yeah, for our stuff going over to Oklahoma, I think it's just going to be easier. I think it's just going to be easier to set up a cargo harbor at both ends. Oh, apparently these are not navigatable waters. That's interesting. So we might have to build a bridge and get over it. That's terrible, but I'm going to allow it just for this, just this time. We'll need to set up a road depot as well. Make things a little bit easier by allowing a connection here. Yeah, then we'll just get a truck unload stop over here. And truck station over here, so that's good to go. But first we're going to need to get the trains running here. So we've got a few different trains to play with here, so let's see. 205 kilowatts. These are not fantastic, but this is going to be fairly separate. Our signals are also set up in such a way that this is most definitely not the sort of primary movement these guys are going to be going over. In fact, we could always just add more vehicles on, sort of as banking engines or whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that then. So, done. And I'm just going to set up a quick line. Perfect. Okay. Other thing I'm noticing is our food line. We've got, 300 food waiting. Our food train has just left. And it has 70 aboard. So, time to upgrade this one as well. So, we will also be using a 460 and getting a lot more boxcars on there. So we hit mediocre, but we can still do, wow, that's pretty good. We can still do 210 capacity and be mediocre rather than poor. So we will make that change. We'll return you to the depot, and I think we'll actually duplicate this train as well. So that should be set up pretty well. Oh, hang on, this is 240 meters long. Uh-oh, that's fine. They worked it out, it's okay. All right, as our wood train is heading off to our forest to pick up its first load, we're going to get our tools line set up to Oklahoma here. We're also going to get our line set up to head over to Albuquerque. Now, what I'm actually going to do, we're going to sort of duplicate or reuse our distillery station here. So what I'm going to do, we'll add another platform on. And then we'll get a truck station on here. So our train is going to deliver the tools over to this this station here at Albuquerque, and then they're going to be trucked into the city. And we can reuse this as Albuquerque grows to take anything else into the city that needs to go, whether that be like mail, whether that be tools, bricks, anything else. So that's the sort of blueprint we're going to be going with in this one, and we're going to place our goods station fairly centrally so that it covers everything, even our construction materials, which we're not even going to be using yet. We'll set up a quick line, get some carriages running, and we'll also get our tools line running as well. Now, we don't need a massive amount of tools to go through to Albuquerque at this point. So what we're going to do then, I will just reuse one of our slightly better 440s, and we will just run it through that. So we'll probably take it up to maybe a 63 or so. That should still be fine. That's pretty good. Could be better. In fact, we could pop this on, just increase it that little bit. So I'm happy with that then. And we will get this one onto our new tools line. Before we finish off this episode, I just want to give you a chance to have a bit of a ride-along, experience the network, how we've built it so far. So let's get started with our first ride on this week, and it will be on our brand new Laredo branch line. So jump in, come ride in the cab with us, and I hope you enjoy. Well, there you go, and I hope you enjoyed that ride along. Thank you so much for Derek in the comments for suggesting that one. I personally, I'll probably cut it down a little bit in editing, so it may not be the full ride along, just because obviously steam trains are a bit slower, so there's a lot of just watching fairly boring terrain go by. But I'm glad I went on that ride along because it showed me something interesting, and that is we don't actually have a crossover to get from well, two things really. So from Laredo, the only platform you can access is this platform here, which is really everything else is using it to go the other way. So you would have noticed we had a massive lineup of trains, which still hasn't completely cleared. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly add a little crossing over there to alleviate that issue. So we're just going to bang that in there. We'll need to adjust the line slightly as well. So for our return leg, we're going to use platform 1 like a normal person. Excellent, and we need to chuck a signal here. So no other trains are going to use this, at least not for the moment. And we did hold up a fair few trains when we sort of blocked this entire segment when we were ready to leave. So I'm going to pop just a quick one-way signal, or two-way signal I should say, here. And that should make this little branch line a little less disruptive. But yeah, as we return to LA, which is becoming a bit of a small metropolis here, which I'm really excited to see, we will leave it there for this episode. So I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You can find links to all my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, follow, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This is Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.